Hi, it's Ronnie and welcome to my channel and to the Scrap 5 challenge. This month's challenge was to do something school themed basically. School themed ephemera, hand journaling, tiny words, primary colors, and banners. Well, I had to dig deep in my stash to find this paper. The notebook paper wasn't hard to find. I have it in a certain place. I used to have it separated, but I keep it right where I can find it so I don't have to dig if I want it for anything. So it's going to be my background. Those two papers there, I'm sure I bought them together. They were laying together and they're both thin papers. I've had them like forever. They're white on the back even. It's not two-sided at all. But they are pretty and they seem to work for primary colors. And I pulled out cardstock, red, blue, and yellow. I'm going to take I did take it. You can see them in my hand now. The primary colors and use the banner die. I have that Sizzix one right there, but I wanted one that was just a little bit bigger because I planned on doing some layering on my banners with the ones from the Sizzix. And I didn't want them to be super close to the same size. I didn't want it to be a big difference, but I wanted it about the same. But I wanted to make sure those were a little bit smaller. I'm going to back these all and do a layer of blue on the back of them. And just to give it a little bit more color on my layout, let me tell you, my layout's going to be pretty vibrant by the time I get done. It is going to be colorful, and I'm definitely using primary colors on here. That die that I did use for the banners is a stitch die, so it has little X's all the way around. It makes really pretty banners. And I'm going to cover part of it up, not all of it, because I do want the stitches to show. I'm going to run a strip of this with the circles straight across the layout, and then I'm going to put the banners below it. I am backing it in the red cardstock though. But as you can see, that color really matches the color of the other paper. So it's going to work out. I pulled some twine. It was right there on the left, the blue and white striped twine. And I'm going to make holes in my banner. And instead of using the 1/4-inch punch like I normally would, I'm using the 1/8-inch punch. And I'm also taking my pencil and marking where I want to punch so I won't be off on them too far. I want to make sure they're going to end up where I want them. I'm not very good at doing it unless I make pencil marks. I'm going to string them all across there, and then I'm going to go make some more banners out of that Sizzix die. And those dies, they have like different things, like they're different shapes as you can tell there, but some have like holes poked all in there, and another one has like a chevron shape, different things so that they're not all exactly the same. I think one of them is kind of diagonal across there. While I'm looking right at the layout, let me see. There's quite a few dots, and then diagonal and chevron, I think is what it is. But I am going to layer them with the cardstock that it makes the die with, and then I'm going to put a backing on it just like I did on these banners. And that's not all the layering I'm going to do. I get kind of carried away. I get really into making sure all 5 of the things are on here. And instead of just putting one like I sometimes do, I'm going to put several. However, my journaling is going to be for the sake of journaling. And that's it, because there isn't much to say. Her sign says it all. First day of preschool. So basically, I just wrote that on my tag, but everything else I'm going to do, and then some. Yeah, I'm going to do quite a bit. I glued this twine down, and I'm also using washi tape to make sure it stays. I decided I was going to layer my picture with all 3 of the primary colors that I'm using: yellow, red, and then blue. They're not going to be very thick layers, but you can see them in the layout. You can't see them as good in the video, but you can see them in the layout. But that is Isabella. She's my great niece, and my niece sent me this picture via Messenger. She is the best about sending me pictures, and Yeah, I thought that is just so cute. I'm going to use it for my layout. Oh, you can see the dies in the Sizzix thing. I love those envelopes. They're thick, they're heavy. I don't know why they all can't be packed good. Usually after you use them a couple of dozen times, the packaging is shot. You got to put them in something else. These I've had, a long time. Probably when they first came out with them. I don't know if they still have them or not, but probably at least 5 years. And the packaging's still good on them. And I've used them quite a bit. But you can see there where I layered that yellow one on the red. And all it is, well, I love layers, is basically all it is. But I wanted to layer each one of the banners down there. So instead of just having 2 or 3 clusters, I'm going to have a cluster on each one of the banners. And there's 6 banners. And then I'm going to have a cluster next to her picture. And oh, here's my ephemera, my October afternoon ephemera. Instead of just putting it down on there, I did lay it down at first. And then I decided I wanted to layer it in a primary color since they are definitely not primary. I think the one with the class, well, that's my tiny words. That is not my ephemera. I had to pull some stickers out, and they're really thin stickers. They're the Simple Stories stickers. So I definitely had to add some cardstock behind them. But I added the colored cardstock instead of white and left the border around. But my ephemera says, well, there is like years ago when I was a kid, the ABC at the top of the room for like a border all the way around. There's a strip of that. Picture day, which she is getting her picture taken. A clock, because you're always looking at the clock when you're in school. I did. Red Rover, and I'm going to put a tiny word on it that says fun, because you have to have something for recess too. And then I have recess. And on my way, and it has arrows at each end, and capture the flag. The A plus, I'm going to end up moving it all the way down to the left and move that one, which is the capture the flag one, over to that spot. Why, I don't know, but I end up doing it. But I am layering everything. I'm just adding different colors and layering. And I'm clustering. I am doing that. Like I said, on each and every flag, there will be a cluster. I am putting foam tape, I believe, under every one of the pieces of ephemera. I don't think I put any on there that don't have. I'm looking at it right now and I can't see any that don't. But I wanted to add some dimension, and the foam tape worked. I think 1 or 2 things I might have used cardstock so they wouldn't be up quite as high, like a couple layers of cardstock under there. But pretty much it's foam tape. Now I'm going to work on the top part. And see that school days? I loved it. And it looks fine just sitting there as my title. But I am going to take the time and fussy cut the whole thing out, even the middle parts, so that it can go ahead and just sit on there. The only thing I messed up on, that I thought I messed up on, well, y'all might think I might have messed up on more, but the D, I was having a little bit of trouble with it. And then I realized that I had some adhesive on my scissors. Once I cleaned it off, when I did the rest of them, it was fine. But it looked a little choppy just because, well, the adhesive was on there. And when I took it off, it's amazing how much better your scissors cut. But when I lifted it there, you could see that it was school paper. It has lines. And it's kind of wrinkled because I had a little helper one day and she decided to grab it, I mean literally off the table, and it came in a set of 2 because it was for a 2-piece layout for a kit. Anyway, she grabbed the one and went running and laughing. Anyway, it's wrinkled and I put off using it like forever. And I thought, okay, I'll use it down there in the bottom, cover up with the flags. That was my intention. I get over to my desk and, of course, actually start to work on the layout. There's a top and a bottom, so I moved it to the top. Then I decided to put that border up on top. I could have just left it down there at the bottom. You can't tell there's a top and bottom of the paper anyway. But it's wrinkled, it's on there, but it'll be fine. I am going to give it to my niece. She might not think it's fine, but it'll be fine. Oh, these are the tiny words. I had to make sure I got my tiny words on there. So far, let's see what I've got on here. I've got my tiny words, my banners, primary colors. It looks like I've already wrote my journaling while I was jabbering. So journaling, and what was the other thing? Ephemera, tiny words, ephemera, banners, primary colors, and journaling. That's it. I've already got everything on here. So I am doing good. I can do whatever I want with the rest of the layout. That's how I usually feel. Like, I think, okay, I got everything on here. I can just play the rest of the time. But yeah, I love how the school days turned out. Even though the D is a little bit, if I'd been smart, I would have put a star right there and covered that little bit up. But no, I didn't do that. So I can still see it. But I think just looking at the layout, maybe nobody will notice. And, oh, here I'm going to put pencils. And those are really thin. So I'm not going to actually layer it on cardstock. As far as leaving a border around the outside, I'm cutting right along the edge of the pencil. And the reason is when I go to put it on top of the pencil, I want to put them, crossed across there like, an X. Yeah, like that. And if I just laid the sticker on there, it's so thin, you could have seen that it had the other one underneath it as far as like an impression. And I really wasn't going for that look. But I put the 2 crayons and I'm putting a bottle of glue, and I'm also going to put it on some cardstock before I put it down, and a couple of stars. Oh, and I did put one, well, it was with the tiny words. It's I love school. I had I love school down there at the bottom, but I took it off and put it back on the strip when I seen this one because it's got the red and then it has the heart for school, and I liked it better. And of course, it was too big to go down there, so I had to put it up there with my tag. I pulled out a paper clip that was blue, and I had to hunt for them. I know I have a whole package somewhere, and then it hit me. They're in a drawer over there. And I dug through the little drawers beside my desk and found one. And I could have just walked over there and opened the little drawer. It says paper clips, and pulled one right out. But no, I had to dig instead. Where am I at now? Oh, I am adding the stars. That means I am about done with my layout. I don't think I add really anything else. I did punch out all 3 colors, red, yellow, and blue. And I'm going to scatter them on my layout. Some I'm going to put foam tape on them and give them dimension. And others I'm just going to glue straight down. And when I said I should have covered up the D with the star, it's because I put a few over there on the title. And I could have done that if I'd been thinking. But be sure to check out the other girls' layouts. The links to all their channels will be down there below. And see what they did with their primary colors, banners, little words, tiny words. I think it says tiny words. Tiny words, ephemera, school ephemera, actually, and journaling. And like I said, mine is not much journaling because the picture says it all. I didn't have much to say. And I figured I put it in pencil just in case there's something else my niece wanted to put, because she sent me this picture. I did the layout, put my journaling on, and then she went ahead and posted the picture on Facebook. And she might want to put this, which, would be cute, that she was glad they took the picture before her hair turned back to normal. And which is like a big mess. But yeah, it's all nice and curly and pretty, and all the curls are in place there. But by the time she plays a while, it's just like all over the place. It's gorgeous, gorgeous curls. But it does get kind of fluffier, I guess you'd say the word is, by the end of the day. So she might want to put that on there. So I put it in pencil just in case she wanted to erase it and put something else. So there's a good chance that that's what she wants to put. But there's my layout and my banners and my title and of course the forever reflection of my light that's up above that I can't seem to get rid of. If I invested in another light and put them on the right and left, I think it'd be all right. But so far, I have not invested. But thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to check out all the other gals' channels down there below because, you know, Grab 5's always fun. Well, in this case, Scrap 5. And if you like my video, hit thumbs up and be sure and leave a comment. I'll get back with you. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. Have a happy scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Oh, and if you heard any thunder, a storm was rolling through. And still is. I can still hear thunder. Well, have a happy scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.